All right, in terms of what I want to discuss today regarding the engine, um, all right, so if we were to look at a actor, let's say that we look at the blueprint actor of this portal, normally when you make something like this, it would be empty. There would be nothing here because things don't come with code. You have to give it code, right? You have to build its logic. So I'll discuss the things that you can do here. So we talked about adding variables here and the different types of references that you can put in. In this case, it's referencing. Oh, by the way, these are blue here because this is a child of a class, so to speak. So then they're coming from a parent class, and these are just being replicated, meaning that you can't delete them because you can't delete something from a child that's a part of the parent. If you want a baseline thing, make it the parent, so every child class of it, it'll carry along all its properties, and you can test and experiment as you go along with this child instead. Making children of parents is actually a pretty nifty way of doing things. Now, you can add components to your actor, of course. So there are many things that you can add, and everything is per use case, and everything has its own purpose. In this case, we wanted a collision box. Now, when it comes to collision boxes, you only really have three types that you can really deal with. You have box collision, you have a sphere collision over here, you have a capsule collision, and you can essentially mold them into any shape that you want. Now, for this case, because you wanted something thin, and because of how the portal is made, this is a simple box, a thin box that goes right down the middle. You collide with the box, it does something. And we do that by essentially saying, hey, whenever we collide with the box, so on component begin overlap, all of these are the type of events that could come from this box collision. So whenever it's collided, we cast a motion controller pawn like we did before in this sequence. So collide, we follow along this line here to a cast node, and the checker is the other component. So if the other component that collides in this box is the object, which is in this case the motion controller pawn, it will succeed. The cast will succeed. This first one means it succeeds. It's cast fail, you can go do whatever it wants. Once it succeeds, we set the actor location, and the target that we want to set is the motion controller pawn, which we have casted to. So this has two purposes. The first is to make sure that only trigger events if it's the motion controller, and second is now that we've cast the motion controller, we say that any event that comes after it, the target is the motion controller pawn, as you can see from this here. And of course, we set a new location given coordinates, and this coordinate takes you to the live stream area. In terms of adding components, building logic for it, this is the typical flow of it through blueprints anyways. C++ is something completely different, but in terms of developing for VR, blueprints is a pretty nifty and visual way of doing it.